Good afternoon, beekeepers and bee enthusiasts. How you doing? Wes Luther here, and we are back, and we have got a great video planned for you today. Today we are going to be going into 3 hives, the Apple Blossom, Forestry, and Welcome Hive, and extracting honey from those hives. We'll be pulling frames out and basically just taking a few, 3 to 4, and then leaving them with about 10 frames. And then we will take that honey back to where we live, and we are going to show you how we process the honey and get it bottled and all that good stuff. So it's gonna be a really good time. We know you're gonna enjoy it. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so we're here outside the Apple Blossom Hive. Now this is the first swarm we caught last year, and actually the first swarm we ever caught on our own. But this colony has swarmed, we think, multiple times since then. So they definitely have a new queen in there, and they've also been a little ornery when we're around. They're not extremely defensive or anything like that, but usually when we get within 10 feet, we'll have a guard that'll come and buzz us and basically just let us know, like, hey, you need to back off. So today we're just gonna be going in, we're gonna pull 3 to 4 honey frames out, and then we're gonna move on, but I'm not gonna spend too much time in this hive because, you know, they could get hot. It just depends. So let's get straight to it. Got a little honey on this. And the bees are actually being pretty nice right now. I mean, I'm probably talking too soon, but you know, they haven't given us much problems yet. Noticing some hive beetles, but you know, sometimes you're just going to have some hive beetles, and that's just going to be a part of it. But naturally, as long as the colony is healthy, then they'll be able to take care of it, no problem. Okay, so we've taken out 4 frames. I was expecting a lot more honey than this, but that's okay. It could have been the nectar flow. But in any case, they do have 10 full frames set up here, and I'm not gonna pull any more frames than that. We're gonna keep this at 10 frames, and that should be pretty good. So they look good right now. Like I said, a few hive beetles, but that's to be expected. Sometimes you're going to see that. But other than that, this colony looks really healthy. All right, so this is our forestry hive. We're really excited about this hive because we really just like the location of this area. Around here, there's a lot of woods, a lot of green, a lot of good stuff for them. And they've been very active ever since we moved them out of the tree. They've just looked really nice. So hopefully we'll get some honey out of here. We didn't get that much out of Apple Blossom, but that's okay. I mean, sometimes you just don't get that much. But one thing is for sure is we're not going to take, you know, what the bees need from the winter. We're going to leave them with just enough. So in any case, let's open this hive and see what it looks like. I'm gonna sit them down just for a second, and then after I pull this next frame out, I'm gonna shake them off, and then I'm gonna shake that other frame off in here too. Tell you why this hive sounds like a car engine right now. It's just so loud. I can tell this colony is doing pretty good. Look at that. It's very pretty. Okay, let's get this divider board on, and we'll be good to go. And the next frames look like they're really packed with honey. And of course we would love to be able to just take that, you know, and process it, but we got to make sure these bees are getting the amount of honey they need for them to last throughout the winter. So really happy with this hive. They're looking good. Very good. Okay, so the last hive we're doing today is the welcome hive. We really enjoy this hive. It of course greets us whenever we come onto the farm. Okay, so they didn't get working on these last frames. But that's okay, because part of winterization is figuring out if the bees need some reduced space, because this is all empty space. So this is not what you want to leave with your bees with whenever you go into the winter time. Okay, let me check this frame, because I might remove this frame too. It doesn't look like they've got much honey stored on it anyway. Okay, there's a fair amount of bees on the inside of that, so you know what? I'm just going to leave this frame. This is 10 frames right now that's inside the hive. And again, we don't want to leave them with a bunch of empty space. Sometimes when you go to check your hives, you're not going to get much honey out of them. And that's okay, because sometimes the nectar flow just isn't right.
We had a lot of rain.
Yeah, it could be a numerous amount of reasons, and we have had a lot of rain this season. So it's not something to get depressed about if you don't get any honey right away. The most important thing, you know, for the health of your bees that you must ensure is that they've got ample storage going into the winter time. There's not much activity on this outside frame right here, but there are a lot of bees on the inside. So I'm not going to disturb them anymore. You know, sometimes you don't get any honey, and that's just part of it. But the most important thing is that you're leaving your bees with enough honey to survive the winter. So, and that's what we're about. So I'm going to put this divider board in here, and then we're going to close it up, and then we'll be done. Okay, there's a little gap there, but that'll be okay. Shouldn't bother anything. That's about it. Cool. Again, my priority when it comes to these bees, or our priority, is not the honey we're getting out of the hives. Our priority is that the health of the bees remains good at all times.
And natural habitat.
And they have a natural habitat, so, or at least as close to one as possible. So that's all the honey we're going to be pulling for this season. We're going to take the frames back, and we're going to do some processing with the honey we got today, and it should be a good time. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so it's finally time to extract the honey from the frames. So we have right here an Italian-made stainless steel honey press, and we actually got this from Dr. Leo Sharashkin's website, horizontalhive.com, and he lets us know that pressing honey was an ancient way of extracting honey, and it helps preserve the aromas of the honey and the flavors, as well as boost the honey's pollen count by pressing the honey in a machine like this. So we're just going to go right into it. I'm going to go ahead and get this frame ready, and it should be pretty easy. And we've never used a honey press like this before. This is actually our first time doing something like this. In the past, we've generally just used a standard extractor, or we might have just used a hot knife, but this way seems a lot easier. And I'm actually really interested in seeing how this is gonna go. Look at that, that's beautiful, isn't it? It's pretty nice. Okay, and we're not going to fill this thing up to the top because I'm not really sure how much honey is going to flow out at first. So I'm going to put this last little bit in, and then we're just going to go ahead and do the press, how the honey flows out. Wow, look at that. That's pretty easy. Now, of course, whenever we're in the processing of this honey, we're actually going to filter this about 3 times. As soon as we're done going through all the frames and getting all the honey extracted, we're going to run this honey through a filter a few times, and that'll get all the debris and all that stuff out of it. But actually, it's looking pretty clear as it is already. But in any case, we'll still run it through the filter a few times.
That's just a little of the comb.
That's
you
right.
See.
That's pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out, and I'm gonna load it back up again. And when we're done taking all this wax and pressing it, we're gonna melt it down and make some wax cakes out of it. And that should be a good time. These jars are half gallon big. We're gonna get this one ready. So they hold a lot of honey. Look at that. That is just so cool.
Using my antique half-gallon jars.
Yeah, these jars, what's nice about this is that these are pure glass. And Mom was nice enough to let us use her special jars for this honey. So we're happy about that. All right, so that's basically all there is to it. We're gonna press a few more frames, but you basically got the gist of it. So we hope you enjoyed it. Again, this honey press from horizontalhive.com. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Dr. Leo Sharashkin, for a great utensil for pressing honey. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you soon.